Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great week so far. Welcome to this new video on the markets. We'll do a full market update. So we will mostly be talking about Bitcoin and also some fundamentals around the market. And we'll talk about some altcoins. I mean, there are some altcoins that are interesting, I think, but it's mostly at this point of time about Bitcoin and the fundamentals. All right. So I'll tell you my thoughts about that. I'll tell you whether I still think it's most likely that we will be able to hold this support level at 92,000, because so far, if you watch my videos, what I've said is that I think there's a lot of bearish pressure right now in the market. And I think today with the news we got, which was a lower than expected unemployment rate number, I think the likelihood of holding the levels we're at right now has decreased. All right. So I think it's more likely that we will drop down lower, but ultimately, if we look at most of the fundamental data right now, it's still quite similar as to it was yesterday. All right, so it's going to very much depend on the developments of today, and also, well, not really the weekend. We don't care much about the weekends, but next week as well. So I'll keep you updated on that. We still haven't seen any movement from the U.S. government Bitcoin, which is obviously, and I told you that yesterday as well, if the DOJ starts selling off that Silk Road Bitcoin, then that's going to be bearish, all right? And then we will drop down lower. But as long as that's not the case, we can talk about that, of course. But then it's not really that relevant, all right? And at the moment, I don't really see any evidence from that they've sold. Right now, you can see the U.S. government wallet. You can see that they haven't sold right there, and there's also not really that much selling pressure on Bitcoin either. I actually think Bitcoin is holding on relatively well. Because the data we got today was unemployment rate that was lower than expected. That's bad. We want to see more unemployment, which sounds weird, but it's true, because we want a weak dollar. That's better for risk on assets. And we want more rate cuts for that. And if we're going to get more inflation right now, which is more likely with higher employment, then we're not going to get any rate cuts, right? And that's massively bearish. And that's also what we're seeing right now. And this is what I mean with, like, the dollar strength index today is bullish, but it's not at the same level. Or it's still at that same massive resistance level we have, right? So that's, yes, we are bullish, and that is also causing stocks to absolutely sell off right now, as you can see right here. So that's causing a lot of bearish pressure for the markets and for Bitcoin. Nasdaq is also down. Russell 2000 is also down. But then Bitcoin, I think, is actually holding on relatively well, because if you take a look at the stock markets, I mean, look at this. I mean, stock markets are absolutely, well, not crashing, but they're very bearish. And Bitcoin is holding its own. And you see the Coinbase Bitcoin price is actually going into a premium here and there today. So there seems to be actual buying going on for Bitcoin. And if we look at some crypto-specific fundamentals, the USDT dominance is also still at resistance. And so far, we've respected resistance. So I think that the macro financial markets are actually quite bearish right now because of that. Because of the employment data and what that's doing with the dollar strength index and what that's doing with the bigger stock markets. Overall, Bitcoin is holding on relatively well. And what I've always said is that, I think the stocks are actually still at support right now. The S&P 500 is, the Russell 2000 is, dollar strength index is at resistance. So at this point of time, and we're seeing indications that there's actually some Bitcoin specific buying or bullish momentum going on. So at this point of time, I still think Bitcoin is going to be able to hold this level. How crazy it sounds, because it sounds quite crazy, right? Because usually when the dollar strength index is bullish like this and stocks are bearish like this, Bitcoin falls down as well. And it's certainly a possibility, right? It is a possibility that Bitcoin does this. In the end, I don't know for certain either. But like I said, given the data that we have right now and given my expectation of movements in the macroeconomic markets, I would say that it is still most likely for Bitcoin, and therefore also for altcoins, because most altcoins are still super correlated to Bitcoin. But I would say it's still most likely that we're not going to be massively bullish, but that we are going to be able to hold this level, and that we will see some sort of a move back into 98 and 99,000 eventually as well, which I don't think will break. I think the main structure right now is a consolidation, is a range, which you can also see on the chart right here. So hopefully that's clear. If it's not, make sure to join the Telegram or the Discord group. That's much better. The YouTube comments right now are absolutely swarmed with bots. And trust me, I'm trying to ban them all, but it's almost impossible. So make sure to join the groups if you do have any questions and ask me in there. I'm always open for discussion about my analysis and my thoughts, and I'm always open for critique as well. But talking about the altcoins, I mean, right now, yeah, token is quite strong. Ethereum is holding on relatively well, but most altcoins are just very correlated to Bitcoin. The Bitcoin dominance is relatively strong. It's also not massively strong, but it's relatively strong. So most altcoins are following Bitcoin here. And there's some altcoins like Chain GPT, the Launchpad, is doing quite well. Talk about XRP in a moment, by the way. But AI XBT is also doing relatively well. Sui, I actually opened a trade on that earlier today, so I'm taking a bit of a risk on that. But I think Sui is actually holding on relatively well as well. But outside of that, I would stay away from altcoins. But no, Sui on the 4-hour time frame here, as you can see, actually got a nice bullish retest on a strong support level. Has been strong as well earlier. So I bought with this spike, but we'll see where that goes. I mean, if it doesn't move up soon, and if we don't see any relief from Bitcoin, I'll just close that at a minor loss. And XRP right now, XRP and Dogecoin are basically still moving as we expected. They're actually holding on relatively well still. For Dogecoin, the main support I have is between 31 and 30 cents. If we get a strong bounce there, I think that's a decent buy. For XRP, what I've always said, XRP like also holding on fairly well. Like these coins are absolutely not bearish. But I do still think that XRP is going to drop down into the range low between 2.2 and 2.1, and that the range low will hold, and that from there we can see some sort of a bounce again. So not much has changed for me for those coins at least. But those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know for now. Like I said, make sure to join the Telegram group or the Discord group for free. Ask me in there, tag me in there. Beware of impersonators and scammers. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.